Welcome to Late Night Vibes with Ine and Cece. And then today's topic is, are men naturally polygamous? Is it their nature, culture, or excuse? Are they biologically wired to be polygamous? Or is it a learned behavior? So, as usual, I am your host, Ine Duke, and with me is Cece.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Late Night Vibes. It's going to be a hot topic today.
Fantastic. And we will not forget to say Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day to the amazing fathers.
Thank you
so much.
Good. And to all our viewers, too, Happy Father's Day to all the dads, stepdads, dad-to-be, father-in-laws. We love you. And yeah, Happy Father's Day. So, again, welcome to our channel. This is the space where we unpack culture, relationship, and the raw truths we often avoid. Today's topic is a question that sparks argument at dinner tables, relationship, and online wars. Are men naturally polygamous? Is it biology, society, or just a well-used excuse for that behavior? As usual, we've got our disclaimer. We are not here to bash men or to defend men. We aim to explore and not to draw any conclusion. Kindly keep your comments respectful, as usual. So, first up, for us to discuss this topic, we will be looking at two very different takes from two popular Netflix series. First up, we have a very short clip from Young, Famous in Africa, where Tuface, who boldly claims that a man can love a woman and will still cheat because it's in their nature. Then we contrast that with a scene from Love Never Lies, South Africa, where a man, Bohlale, was in tears after cheating, terrified he's going to lose the woman he loves. Same gender, same act, completely different emotional response. Why? You want to know? So today I've brought together my wonderful guests, two great men, to help us dive into this topic. So sit back, lean in, because this conversation might challenge what you thought you know about love, loyalty, and human nature. So my first guest for today is Inze Dr. M.A. Benson. He is the president of UK Nollywood Producers Guild, CEO, Ben Alex Media, multi-award-winning film producer and director, and an outstanding entrepreneur based in London. Welcome to the show, Dr. Malcolm Benson.
Thank you. Welcome. Thank you very much, Egeba Ine Duke.
Thank you.
With that type of introduction, it needs a round of applause. We need to make
Thank you.
Round of applause because it's not easy. It's not
Absolutely.
easy. I was lost in the introduction. I was like,
amazing. Nice one. Let me increase the volume. Okay, as well. And then our second guest is my lovely Stanley. He's also a UK Nollywood producer, actor. Stanley, do you want to say a little bit about yourself? I was supposed to take much of your bio, but just quick.
It's just you've already. I'm an actor, producer as well, but I've dived into doing my inspiration to production is basically doing things that have to do with real life scenarios, real life based on true life stories and awareness as well. Because like I said, I'm coming up with a project where I have to show different types of domestic violence. And it was just something whereby a lot of people don't even know when they're being abused because they're still waiting to get smacked or hit by their partner or loved one before they know, oh my gosh, I've been abused. But there is verbal abuse, emotional abuse. There is different types of abuse, financial abuse as well. So I'm just taking it upon myself to go into that direction of production whereby I produce things that have to do with true life stories and also keep people aware of things that are going on as well, things that we don't want to talk about. I put them into motion pictures for you, and I work for TFL as well. So there's that's me in a nutshell.
All right, thank you so much. We'll be contacting you sometime soon again, and welcome back. Thank you so much.
Welcome to Late Night Vibes.
Thank you. So I'm going to play a short snippet from both clips. that I mentioned, Young Famous in Africa, as well as Love Never Lies South Africa.
Okay.
We're just going to keep it brief, for fair use purpose. Keep it brief, and then for the commentary as well.
Men are wired like that. A man would love a woman to hell.
100%.
Or maybe he's somewhere.
Yeah.
His dick will just decide something.
No, his mind, not his dick. It's not his own entity.
Okay, however you look at it.
Yeah.
He will fuck.
Even if he's married.
But he
and he's
will not
committed.
even give a fuck about that person. He just wants to.
So is that us here? Are you talking about generally or you're talking about yourself? That's what
Is this what you believe or you're talking about gender?
It's what I believe.
But is that you or is that belief?
Bohlale, she's counting condoms.
It was never my intent to get intimate. I've got my errors, but I'm literally still here. One incident shouldn't then paint me differently. I've always been the man that I say that I am. If you don't fuck my mind, I'm not in it like that. I'm frustrated that I can't enjoy my woman.
Right. So you've all seen the 2 clips that we just showed. So I'd just like to take your raw opinion about the clips you've just seen so far. So if I start with, anyone can just go first. So maybe should I just start with Stanley? Stanley, you're muted or mute, please.
I was praying you start with Benson, but if we're just talking about the clip, first of all, one, when we go to Tuface Idibe's comment, he was telling the truth, but I would say the delivery of how he was communicating those words were different, especially when your better half is sitting next to you. There are sometimes, like, I mean, it's like one of the projects I'm doing is called Behind Closed Doors, and these are abuse that happen behind closed doors, and is wanting to disrespect your better half in private, and is another thing to disrespect them when you're out there. He can be telling the truth, to some people I know, oh yeah, what do you mean, what nonsense is that? But he's just the way and the tone he was communicating, and he was saying it like, I'm proud of what I'm doing, especially what they've gone through as well. We're talking about this video in particular, so especially what they've been through. So it's just how he's communicated it that I feel like is the problem there, but everything else is debatable. And then when we move to the other guy's part, when a lot of people cheat, and I know people who would cheat on their wife, and they get them flower the next day, they buy them gift the next day or something like that. That's to satisfy their guilt, because it's something whereby I love this woman, but society, we all say, society has led us into this life whereby we see things as normal now. You see like little kids who are like, oh, I want a sugar daddy. Back in the days, you dare not, even if you have a sugar daddy, you dare not say you have a sugar daddy. But now it's the norm. Anyone can just say, oh, sugar daddy this, sugar daddy that. So it feels like it's the norm. And then we have wives who are like, oh yeah, my husband is doing everything.
Let me stop you there, Stanley.
Yeah.
So because of time, let me stop you there. We'll come back again. If you have anything, just note it down.
Okay, yeah.
Thank you so much. And then Dr. Malcolm, quick one if you have anything to say, and then Sisi, get ready. Just quick. Please.
Wow. To be honest, it's very difficult to analyze someone else's opinion. Everything that people say sometimes would be their own point of view. Doesn't represent majority of individuals, and they might see something from a different perspective, and there isn't really much other than you learn or you disregard. It may be right for them in saying what they are saying. It may well be because of personal experience. It may well be because of the culture or their exposure or lack of it. So
Okay.
It's not, I like to say my own side from a given subject and basically give you that from my side.
We'll get to that one. That's the next topic. Anyways, I don't know, Sisi, if you have anything, or should I just move on to the main topic, the main reason why we're here?
Okay, no, I agree with Stanley and Malcolm, yeah.
Okay, all right, fair enough. So, right, let's get your perspective on this amazing topic, this great topic that, we want to talk about in relation to today's topic. So, I have a few questions as usual, so we can just jump in at any time, So I'll start first with the first question, and we just try and keep our responses brief. So the first one is, what's the difference between cheating and polygamy? And what do you think? Do you think most men even know the line between cheating and polygamy? So I'll start with Dr. Malcolm here.
Well, polygamy is not cheating. It's two different things altogether. Polygamy is a way of life and is acceptable in certain culture. Is designed even in Bible. We have polygamy. We have Abraham that had two wives. Polygamy when you marry more than one wife. And it's not just one example. If you go through, there are several men of God that had two wives, even 3, 4. Solomon had multiple. You can't say that Solomon was cheating. He was living in a life that was acceptable within his culture.
So what's the difference now?
The difference is that one is legitimate for a certain culture, whereas when you then go into cheating means if you're having a sexual relationship with someone who you're not married to. That's a different thing. All right. Polygamy, you have to actually marry someone for you to now qualify as a polygamous, marriage.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So it's clearly different two subjects.
So we need to, Stanley, I'll come to you. Thank you so much for your perspective on that. And to our viewers, know that this topic, we have polyandry and then we have polygyny. Polyandry, and
there's so many words.
They all fall under polygamous. So when a woman marries more than one man, it's polyandry. Then we also, polyandry. Then we also have polygyny. So know that. So thank you so much for your perspective. And Stanley, I don't know if Sissy, you want to say anything, Stanley.
Now I'm gonna say, okay, for the modern ones now, I don't think they live by that rule. There's some that just get into it because they want a lot of women, and they don't follow the to say they're gonna marry them.
Okay. All right. Thank you for that, Stanley. And
I would add to what Dr. Malcolm has said, because everything he said, like, is in the Bible, is not a sin, for those of us who are Christians as well, and I'm sure it's also in the Quran as well, because I know Muslims tend to marry multiple wives as well, and it's allowed as well. But I would say the difference between polygamy and cheating, polygamy is probably maybe is honest and structured, like as a plan. This is something that we have a mutual agreement for. This is something we both agreed on. I'm going to take a second wife. I'm going to take a second husband. And every party is aware, every party is fine with that. And cheating is probably dishonest. You're hurting someone's feeling in the process. You're crossing a lot of lines, and you're crossing a lot of boundaries as well, which you shouldn't cross as well. So it's more like like what Mr. Malcolm said as well, is acceptable in some places, and it's cheating is obviously like wrong, whereby it's based on betrayal issues. It's just not the sex. There's broken trust, broken promises there as well, broken vows as well. But with polygamy, it's based on consent. All parties are aware, and everyone is happy with that as well. Everyone knows the role they're playing. So yeah.
Thank you. Also, to our viewers, you know what the difference is. So when you hear it's cheating and it's not cheating. Now you know the difference between polygamy and for men, and cheating as well. So you already know what the difference is. One is without consent and one is with consent. And then the next one is, do you think, let me go to the next question. So if men are, like Tuface said, he said men are polygamous in nature, because people say that a lot. Men are polygamous in nature. Men are polygamous in nature. So if men are polygamous by nature, I mean to say, why do so many still feel shame or hide like Bohlale did when he cried after cheating? Or are they not even afraid of losing? I know we've talked about polygamy and cheating. So if there is no consent, are they afraid of losing their loved, the woman they love? Stanley.
I mean, Men are polygamous in nature. We need to understand that they are also emotionally vulnerable by nature as well. So we men are moved by what we see, and women are moved by what they feel. Do you understand what I mean? So that's why you have a lot of divorces. You know, when your wife has given birth, you're like, oh, she's no longer that, a chalugo that I know, and all of those things. And you go for the quest of looking for another chalugo, someone who will give you what your wife was giving to you, or peace of mind as well. There are so many reasons why men can be polygamous, or why men can cheat as well. Peace of mind. I mean, like the guy that was crying as well, he can cry for so many reasons. Maybe he cried because he knew he hurt someone he cared about, which during that time as well, I feel like is a spirit. Cheating is like a spirit, something whereby like even the Bible tells you, if you can resist the urge of a woman, you would make the kingdom of God. Do you understand? That is one of the greatest weapon God has ever created, women. If you can resist those temptations, your life will, you've solved 60% of man's problem in life. Like, there's shame entering when your actions don't align with your values, even if you try to justify them at that moment. Oh, I'm doing it because she pissed me off, and all of those things. So there are so many things that will make a man, polygamous in nature, like Mr. Dr. Benson said. In the Bible, there was nowhere they said, oh, this woman married 2 husbands or 3 husbands. Do you understand? It's only Abraham, this man did, and that person did as well. You never hear a woman. And this is why I'm sure that we're talking about just men in this topic, because we men, sometimes our ego lets us say things we don't want to say just because we want to feel like Superman and stuff like that outside. But women are always like, they act on emotion. They feel, they let their emotions speak for them even when they're in public as well. And this is why it's not a trend for women. But there's so many women out there who are married to like 2 husbands, who are still seeing more than 2 men. So it's just the fact that we men come out and we make it like, oh yeah, big deal and all of those things. So that's why it feels like it's a man's problem. Even women as well married to husbands. So yeah.
Thank you. You're getting to our next topic now. You're trying that one because that's the next hot topic we have. Thank you so much, Stanley, on that perspective. And Dr. Malcolm, over to you.
Well, if I'm still going back to the definition of what is polygamy, then that draws the line on how can you be polygamous in nature. Are you trying to say that men will always want to marry more than one wife naturally? Is that true? Because I know a bunch of men that would not want to marry more than one wife because they cannot even handle one, let alone 2 or 3. So I wouldn't agree with the generalization of men as polygamous by nature, unless you are trying to convince me that all men would want to marry more than one woman. And I don't agree that is the case. You could say that men like more than one woman at a time, or that a man might want to date more than one woman at a time. Then that comes back to cheating by nature. You can say, okay, well, men like to cheat by nature. But to use the term polygamous is really not following the definition of the word polygamous by nature. All right? So on that note, I would say men are not polygamous by nature. It's individual men who may have a desire for more than one woman, maybe because they're not getting enough attention, because the partner they have at that point in time wasn't making themselves available to nurture. And they find it from somebody else. And it becomes, they're trapped in that cheating environment where they have to seek that pleasure from someone else without necessarily wanting to end the existing relationship they are in.
Thank you. Really appreciate your thought. You know what? Thank you so much, Dr. Malcolm, and also Stanley. And to our viewers, now you know what the difference is. When you hear this thing, men are polygamous by nature, we hear it is like a myth. So we're trying to clear it now. You know the difference between polygamy and cheating. So as Dr. Malcolm said, if you say it do men cheat by nature? That can bring us closer to what we're thinking. But if you say men are polygamous by nature, so wherever you hear that, correct that saying, correct it, right? Polygamy, you know the difference now between polygamy and cheating. So very interesting, very excited. That was an eye opener. I really enjoyed it too. So now let's go to the next one. So do you think, and this will be to you, doctor, and then next to, do you think society pressures men into pretending to be monogamous, even when it doesn't fit their true nature? I know you disagree with the nature side, so or do we say, i.e., that is as modern society forced men into monogamy unnaturally?
Well, what I would say is that is cultural balancing. Sometimes where you're raised or what you know is part of your upbringing, and it becomes the norm. Is, for example, you're from the Arab world, where generally people, the religion you're in, accept the fact that you would marry more than one and everybody's happy.
Mm-hmm.
Then you find that majority of the people from that side will do what is the norm.
Mm-hmm.
They have no societal challenge.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody will judge them because they are following their normal, acceptable culture, religion, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
If you're brought up in the Western world, for example, where the society, frowns upon you wanting to marry more than one, because it's in your, basically, that's what you've grown up to know. You start feeling bad about something that ordinarily you would have felt okay because it's generally accepted. So you have to put it in context. Which geographical area are we talking about? If you're saying the Western world, say, yeah, okay, maybe they don't want to do it because they feel that the society will frown upon it. But if they were in a society where everything in that context was okay, then they will be real and follow what they like and, express themselves in a natural way that they feel. Yeah.
Well said. And yeah, just to buttress that point, clearly, in Western world, it's seen as is illegal in some Western world for a man or a woman to have more than one husband or more than one wife. So it's classed as bigamy anyway. So like you said, some of them may like to do it, but because of the world, the society where they're in, they couldn't do it, But if you move them somewhere else, they will be married to 2, 3, 4 wives, where the society accepts it. So thank you for that. Stanley, over to you. Do you want me to ask a question? Or?
Yeah, because Dr. Malcolm has covered everything that there is there to say, because it's just the society will pressure you, but end of the day, like I know, like from the previous question he answered, where he said, now I, even with that question, him answering it, I understood the fact that okay, there is a difference between being polygamous by nature and being a cheater by nature as well. So he's already covered those answers. So yeah, he's hit the nail on the head. So yeah, we can move to the next question. I stand with him on that one.
Thank you. Except since you want to add anything, but fantastic.
No, I agree with that. Obviously, cultural difference.
Yeah.
Good. All right. So the next one is, I've had to skip a few questions because we've already touched on them. So now the next, we've got our 3 questions and then we'll go to. So viewers, bear in mind that we will try as much as we can to use a pidgin to summarize what we've said. I will do it. Otherwise, my guest, that is their task. They will summarize what they've all said in pidgin because I told them. Anyway, so the next question will, should women accept polygamy as a reality or demand monogamy and walk away if they don't get it? I will give you my take on that. Before I go to my guest, I'll tell you what my friend who was supposed to be on the show said. We always have a balanced guest, but on this occasion, my guest couldn't attend. So she said, as a young lady, our greatest goal is to marry a man that sincerely serves God, because she doesn't believe in polygamy. that sincerely serves God. So, and she said, when a man does things that pleases God, then it will also please the wife. So she likes to marry a man that truly, truly acknowledges God and is God fearing. So when is that one? Polygamy will not come into play in that
Yeah,
one.
but polygamy is not a sin in the Bible.
In the Bible, I'm about to say, yeah.
It's not a sin in the
So,
Bible, because this is where you then go back to what Dr. Malcolm has said, is the way society, is the way we view society and when we're growing up. Because is now we've got more, we're in a country where we have more churches than, more churches than hospitals. So everyone is, even the ones that are not Christian, like people go and stand on the street. Hookers can stand on the street, do their night hustle, sleep with how many numbers of members. They're the first in church the next day. They just have to do what they have to do to get what they want to get. Do you get what I mean? You have to, find a way to survive. But because your society is, oh my gosh, I'm going to be judged, I'm going to be this. Like it boils down to communication. If you and your partner can communicate, and this is one of the reasons why you see white marriages lasting longer than black marriages, and this is because they communicate with themselves. The wife can tell the husband, this is where I'm lacking, this is where you're lacking. Let's exploit things, let's do things. And oh, this is what you want to do, this is what's going to keep you happy, no problem. They go on holidays or go somewhere and do what they want to do, come back, and that gives them something to talk about and all of this. But we black people, whereby religion has clouded our mind, we can't talk about things that we are supposed to be talking about to help us grow in our relationship. We're thinking, oh, how would this person judge me? How would this person judge me? The fact you want to be a polygamous person don't make you not a child of God. Do you get what I mean? If Solomon was a child of God, God even loved him. So for her saying that is probably where she's grown up and how she's seen society as well. It's just a topic to have. It's not a sin, it's not a bad thing. So
yeah, and again,
that's how I say it.
individual differences anyway. So,
Yeah,
Stanley,
of course.
yeah, would you now say should women accept polygamy as a reality or demand monogamy and walk away if they don't get monogamy? If they
It
don't,
doesn't really matter if you talk about it and you're not. The two parties have to agree. It's like an agreement. If you don't agree, when you go to sign for a house and you go and view the house, you don't like it, and you say, "Oh, I don't like it because of this and because of that." What happens? You part ways. You go your separate ways. You don't have to stay there and be like, okay, no, I'm going to compromise since the house have this. And then when you move into the house, you're like, I can't really compromise on this. And then that's where the problem starts. This is why before you get married, you have to have these discussions. Oh, are you willing to do this if this was to happen? Oh, are you willing to do that? Because sometimes some girls, I meet people and I speak to them and I ask them, oh, your husband did this. Oh, that's mad though. Did you know before you guys got married that he was this kind of person? And they're like, yes, I thought he would change.
oh,
Do you get what I mean? Like, I don't understand. What do you mean you thought he would change? Is the communication you ask? You ask him, okay, how long are you willing to do this type of thing for? Or what we go? Are you able to compromise or things like that? If you're not happy with the answer, you just go your separate ways. Society should not let you go, hey, let me still marry him. I'm getting old. No. Because in the long run, you will come out and go back to where you started from stage one, whereby you continue getting old. And now you've now made a mistake that you should have made because you were thinking, what will society say? This is your life. You're not thinking about what society will say because society is not marrying that person with you. So it's a mutual agreement. If it's not happening, you part ways and go your separate ways. It's not the end of the world. So yeah.
wow. Yeah. So in a nutshell, if monogamy will not come to play, if you say you like monogamy and the man says no, Stanley said, go, you don't have to stay there.
Yeah, go yourself. Yeah, you don't have to stay there.
Thank you so much. And to our viewers, remember to subscribe, like, and share. And lots to think about. You've all heard lots to think about. So, and Dr. Malcolm, over to you. Should women accept polygamy as a reality or demand monogamy and walk away if they don't get it?
Well, I don't believe it's a matter of demand. Things should be natural. It's a relationship. And when you're getting into marriage is a contract between man and woman.
Yep.
So if in that contract, there are two parties involved. So when you say one person will demand, it's the same as saying if the man were to demand that the woman will not marry another man. Those are things you cannot even be discussing. It's just natural whether this person is someone you want to spend the rest of your life with, and what could lead to them wanting to bring a second person in? Is there a problem? Is there something you're not fulfilling? Is this something you know about their culture, where you know that generally they would it's their culture that they will marry more than one? You look into all that. If the parents married 2, 3, 4 wives, why would you then come and start making demands on the son when you know this is their lives, way of life? And for you to make it like a condemnation, it means as a woman, you're trying to kind of present yourself as a superior human being to all other women who are in polygamous relationship, because they too have equal right. You're not better than them, but they have accepted that this is a normal life, and they are quite happy to be second wife, third wife, fourth wife. It makes you're not that special. It's simply whether this is something you want to be part of. You have no right to make any demands. You just go with what works for you. And if you feel that you're not happy or willing to be in a polygamous, you don't get into it, but don't make no demands. You don't own that right.
Thank you. So ideally, in summary, if you know this, you just see the flags, you know the sign. Well, before you enter, you will see some things that will tell you that this man might not be just for you alone. No, you might not want. You might want to. But in fact, some of the men would even say it. That at some point, I would like to marry another woman. If you know that you don't even try it. Like Stanley said, you don't want to grow old. But at the end of the day, if he goes and marry 2, 3 wives, he will still live, because if that is something you're not comfortable with, then you still go old again without. So what's the point? Don't start what you cannot finish. That is what our guests have just said. So the last question before we go to the pidgin English side of it is, Sisi, do you want to add anything?
No, I agree. Obviously, the most important is communication. Communicate first. Yeah, when you get to, obviously, if the person has, it's like, from their history, and they like have, they want to have other women like married, then wives, then you know what you're getting into. So you can't have no argument there.
And no demand as well.
Yeah, no demand. Yeah.
Must be only me that you want to marry. Must be me. No woman go enter. No woman go enter. Mba. You saw it already. So they've already told you. So this is why we're here. When people say men are polygamous by nature, excuse me, we've defined it. What polygamy is? Polygamy is legal in some culture. In some culture, it is not legal. I mean, we also have it's not legal. We also have polyandry, where women marry more than one husband. If it's legal in some areas, so you know what you're going into, but cheating is different. No consent, then you can look at the cheating side. Polygamy and cheating, they are two different things. So now the last question, and this will be to you, Stanley. If you had a son, would you teach him to embrace this natural desire? Like they said, men are polygamous by nature. Because we've heard this thing over the years, and our sons too might grow up to hear men are polygamous by nature. So if you had a son, would you teach him to embrace his natural desire for many women? Or encourage him to master himself and stay loyal?
I mean, his experience is not something you teach. It's something you learn. So I wouldn't, because end of the day, you can ask me another question and say, oh, would you encourage, if your son woke up today and said he's gay, would you encourage him? Is his life. Like, there are so many things that I do today. My dad did not teach me. My mom did not teach me. You have to learn that as you grow up and as you live on as well. Well, I'm not polygamous by nature. Do you get what I mean? So I wouldn't teach him what I'm not. But then again, if that is what he wants to do, I would not stop him from doing that, because end of the day is his happiness. And this is why sometimes when women go, oh no, I can't marry you because my mom said I shouldn't marry you, because my dad said I shouldn't marry you, or I'm going to marry you because my dad said or my mom said. End of the day, it's your life. You're the one in that relationship. You're the one in that marriage. you can go into that marriage. What if God wants to show you something through that experience of, going through multiple women, and then you learn from it? Then I'm now stopping God's blessing or God's way. It's inevitable. What your son will be. Like I say to people, in an African home, our parents will only teach us maybe 30% of the home training that we have today. When you go out there, we're influenced by so many things in the world. We're not influenced by our parents. We're influenced by our friends, people we meet, our work colleagues, what we watch on TV. So no matter what you tell your son, what he wants to do is what he's going to do. When I go out there, the training my dad has given, I've never smoked a cigarette in my life, by the way. And that's because whenever I go out there and I'm like looking at someone smoking, my dad will beat me. Oh, you want to learn how to smoke? Do. And then some other instances. So when I go out to my friends and they're smoking and they're like, guys, smoke now. I'm like, no. But your dad is not here. I'm like, that's the more reason why I would not smoke it. Whereas we have other kids who are like, I'm going to try this. My dad is not here. I'm going to try it. Let me see why they're beating me and stuff like that. So what I'm going to teach him is whatever makes you happy, you do whatever makes you happy. If you see he's falling out of line, you call him back, encourage him, because end of the day, kids of nowadays, what encouragement do they get from seeing what you are about? Is what they see, is what they project. Like now, all these kids want to make online money. They want to make cyber security money. They want to make like crypto money, Bitcoin money, fast money. And that's because what they see is they see their kids, they see their parents working from home thinking, oh, it's just a chilling thing. But we saw our parents go out every morning, Monday to Friday. That's why we don't mind going into the office Monday to Friday, because we saw our parents do it. So it's what they see that they imitate. So there's no right or wrong with it. So yeah.
Thank you so much on that great perspective. And then Dr. Malcolm, over to you. That's good.
Well, life is about choices, and the best you can give your son per se is that guidance. Provide the information and guidance. We really can't teach. First, you're not a teacher. You're there to protect, guide, and provide the information for them to make their own choices.
Yep.
That's why sometimes some people do well by encouraging their children to come with them to church and learn the religious way of fear of God and stuff like that. They can then make their choices. But you can never be able to teach them anything that, because they are new human beings that they want to explore life and discover themselves, discover their body, discover what they are made of. You can always be able to guide them anyway, and teaching them your own norms may not necessarily be productive because you will not be guaranteed that they will go with your side, and then that brings conflicts because they don't agree with your viewpoint in life. And it becomes something like, for example, I give you Marvin Gaye, for example, that the dad was a reverend. And what happened in the end was fatality. The dad actually shot him because he wasn't willing to listen or follow the biblical evangelical side of the dad. He decided to be a musician and express himself in the way that the dad find repugnant. So it's an example you don't want to follow. Let them be who they are. You didn't create them. God created them. They come into this world, but be there to give them that guidance. If they are willing to even follow your guide. Some children don't even like to, have anything to do with their dad. They just move on and do their own thing, So yeah, I would say give them the resources, give them the information, provide advice and support, but it's up to them because God has given everybody free will, to choose, discover, and be who you are or who you want to be.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Thank you so much for all your perspectives. Very enlightening. I'm very pleased. This is one topic that I really enjoy. And so now, thank you. And to our viewers, remember to view, to subscribe, like, and share, and leave your comments as well. So now let us go to our pidgin English, and because we know that we want to get home, so some people will understand what we're saying. So my people, na serious matter we don't talk for years so today. The question what we ask be say whether they really born men, make them get plenty women, or na just excuse where people they talk, make them marry plenty women. That be the question what we can dey ask here today. So we don't hear from Dr. Malcolm and Stanley. Our Dr. Malcolm now our big oga for Nollywood, and Stanley to now our oga for Nollywood. I thank Ona so much for coming. So in summary, Dr. Malcolm, I beg if you tell our people, make them understand what we just talk. Say whether them born men to naturally marry plenty women, or now just people just they talk, take them as excuse. Just quickly, just tell our people made them here. Thank you.
This guy wahala. I for think say that Stanley you for push am for make he start. That be he come pick. Anyway, the thing be say I go try my best make I break am as I fit. As you know, I don't talk am before. Say, man no be this kind of thing where they call polygamy no be the definition of anything. Na misconception. I mean, no best. I don't speak up. Like your wahala be that one. I go speak how I know am. I don't talk my own English. Now tell me make I dey speak broken English. Oh yeah, make I break up now. Okay. As I don't talk up, I talk up before say there's no we no get anything. We no get anything where be say man na polygamy. Polygamy na if you want marry more than one wife. Now and your culture accept them. Then na him be say you be polygamy. No be the same thing. Say be no be big. Maybe no be the same thing
as cheating.
Like cheating. Cheating be say you don't even get 2, 3, 4 wife. You can't carry your housemaid. The knack too. Now be say you don't the cheat against those multiple women where culturally you be allowed to marry. Those one no do you. You can't carry another woman where no be part of that your wives. Go the knack. Now be say wahala done there. So no be the same thing as I talk am before. Now waiting it be.
Thank you. You do well, doctor. Thank you. And over to you, Stanley. Please summarize and tell our people what you just talk. Say then they talk say men be polygamous by nature. Men they put many women by nature. So people they see and like saying a bad thing. I beg make una explain what will be the difference between the polygamy and cheating. Doctor don't talk, and so summarize the thing what you tell us.
As doctor don't talk, I know say most of the things we are talking now from Dr. Matt I talk him. So and doctor don't talk the one way he talk. So doctor don't summarize the whole thing for one bowl. You understand? So no need to come start to tell the audience what the doctor don't talk. But my own be say our polygamy no be the same as cheating, because say polygamy now say you and person don't agree so now go marry another wife together. You will go carry and come. But my brother, if no be waiting on I don't agree. Just they do it, they switch your belly. We say, we just come out there, find your small baby, we go, they post your pimple for back. But then again, no, last, me I go say, they for who, they for you. If that household, they give you peace, and when you go there, go collect the peace. If the other one, they give you war, when I go try make agreement and say, make una carry peace, enter the house. So when I go there, that way, you go don't cement everything, then you're now polygamous in nature.
My people, thank you so much, Dr. Malcolm. So my people, my friend even talk and say she her own now pastors which she did like people will go church now she did like because we be born again, because at the end of the day then they hear wetin God talk. So they no go bring another woman come house. Like Stanley talk, say person they bust your pimple and you like am, you go bring the woman come house. But she say now people where they fear God, now she like people where be born again, where be Christian, where be pastor, now she like. So I no go bring another woman come, only Bible then they read for her. So which one? It is all based down to you. You don't hear waiting everybody talk, but waiting where we still talk is all down to you. All right. So on this note, I want to pass over to CC. Make when I don't give us on a takeaway message. Thank Ona so much. And CC, over to you now. I'm not gonna remember to subscribe, like, and share. And thank Ona so much for always returning. CC, over to you to close the show.
Thank you very much. That was that was very funny. Thank you. I enjoyed that. Thank you to Stanley, Malcolm, our guest today, and this topic was very interesting, and your advice was very good. Thank you so much. So from Late Night Vibes, from ENACC, our guest Stanley and Malcolm, like, subscribe, and view and share. Thank you very much. And to the fathers, happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.